Did you know that when you first publish your YouTube video, in the first 60 minutes to the first 24 hours, YouTube is doing its best to push your content. During this 60 minutes to 24 hours, YouTube is looking for your viewers. YouTube is paying attention to how well your current subscribers and audience engages with your content. And they're trying to figure out who else to push it to. So they're pushing it as far as it can go based off of what your title, based off of what they think your video is about. So it's very important to remember a few things that stand out from just what I said alone. Your current subscribers that a lot of people don't tend to really think or take into consideration when they're on their monetization journey. When they're on their monetization journey are the people who are helping your videos to get pushed. The fact that they engage with them when you publish them, the fact that they're writing good work or great video, etc. like that is helping YouTube to say, oh, okay, so their subscribers is engaging with this video. I'll continue to push it. And then YouTube is also looking for more people based off of what you put out. So you have to keep that in mind that in the first 60 minutes to 24 hours, YouTube is like really working in your favor. YouTube wants to get your video to as many people as possible because it helps YouTube. But after a day or two, the video is kind of on its own. And the way that I put it in the live stream is this. If you were you and you were searching through thousands and thousands of videos and shorts on YouTube, would you find your video? Would your title, would your thumbnail stand out to you? That's the way that I had to look at it. And I looked back on some of my titles and my thumbnails and I was honest with myself and was like, maybe not. I had to take my ego out of it and just kind of realize that it had nothing to do with a lack of people wanting to watch me. It didn't have anything to do with me not making good content. It just was that I exist in this small like universe or corner of the world, and I have to help people find me. So that's a way to kind of think about that as we go into this. The thumbnails weren't awful, but presentation matters, graphic design and all that stuff is very important. Those are one of the things that I really don't like doing, but I've learned to, not have to necessarily do like, any crazy creating or anything, but just putting a little more effort into the title and thumbnails is very important. So after a day or two, the video is kind of like officially on its own. And if YouTube sees that you have 0 to very, very low views, YouTube kind of kills the traffic to your video. So that's why it's important not to just put a video out and, put your hands behind your head and be like, okay, I'm about to blow up and not do the work. In that first 24 hours, you should also be posting links to your video. You should also be talking about it, just trying to get as much people excited about it as possible. Use the community post feed, post it to your Instagram, a link, a snippet or whatever it is, to your Twitter, whatever it is. Even those platforms that people don't know that you have YouTube channels that you kind of don't care if people find you might be essential. Those 4 to 5 views will help YouTube to at least keep pushing the video out for you. Because if they see you have no views, the video is kind of like I don't know what the word is. The video is kind of sleep now at this point. And what you can do if that happens is you can create a new title, create new thumbnails, re-upload it, find out what part people dropped off on the video if they did watch, and kind of trying to push it back out there. But at that point, the video is kind of like on its own. And when all of this like clicked for me, what I said to myself was like, I have to put in more work. What would people like? If I was the viewer, what would I like on this thumbnail? Is my thumbnail too busy? Is my picture too small? Do I look like I lack confidence in the thumbnail? If, like, for example, natural hair is an example I'm going to use a few times. If somebody is like, hey, they have a title, natural hair tips, maintenance, and routines. And I go to the thumbnail and, your hair is looking a little rough. I'm not likely to click on that. And I hate that it's like that because I'm a YouTube dork, right? And I'll honestly go check out so many videos, bad thumbnails, bad titles, all of it, and find some really good hidden gems. But the problem is that if I was pressed for time, or if I was looking for something specific that I knew for a fact could help me, it was very vital and important for you to make sure that the viewer would be like, I need to click on this video. And that's where I said taking your ego out of it really helps, because we think that everybody's just going to like our video, and that's not the case. I've had videos or content where I worked very hard, doing data, writing out my bullet points, filming, editing, just being very strategic, like this is great value for the audience, and nobody cared. And I missed the opportunity to get noticed, seen, or watched because I didn't present myself very well. And this is a part of the process that I really, really don't like. It annoys me because I wish that things were differently, but it's not. And we have to put in the work if we want to grow our channels. And it's something that I've learned very late into my journey. Some people are way more strategic with this, way more careful in their planning, the pre-planning, I'd like to call it, or even the post-planning. It could work both ways, but please take this part of the process seriously, because I did, and I've noticed a huge change. Some of the things that I want you guys to look into is to look at your click-through rates. I can give you guys a quick walkthrough on how to find click-through rates. I didn't really care about those things in the beginning, and I kind of like, yeah, I'm still drifting with it, but I'm learning that it's important to understand how many people decided to even click on the video. You don't have to get too deep into analytics. If you're really just enjoying the journey, you're creating, you're putting your work out there, fine. But if you say that your goal is to grow, to find more people, to find your community, to expand, then you're going to have to dive a little deep and put in the work. And I did. You know, I looked through some of my click-through rates, and some of them were really bad, and some of them were okay, and some of them were good. And then I asked myself, okay, so what works with these videos that aren't working with the other ones? Why are more people clicking through these videos than others? Those are very important. And if you notice, like during my growth spur, you'll see the click-through rate is improving, or at least decent. You know, before it was like so low. And YouTube, I don't know if YouTube has ever been and will tell you the truth, like, hey, you know, step it up. But, you know, some of them click-through rates was horrid. And I had to, again, take my ego out of it and figure out how I can find my audience by getting into a right relation with how YouTube works. You know, now that I have a better understanding of my audience, I use the analytics to create better content for them. Keeping their retention, a couple of quick tidbits or advice for keeping the audience retention is to like cut the fluff. In my previous videos in the beginning, I would just be talking for about 3 to 4 minutes down a rabbit hole. I really thought this was entertaining. I swore people would be like, oh, you know, she's so relatable. You know, I think like that, but nobody cared. It was just like I said, they came to the video for a reason. So at least try to address and answer their questions, and then, you know, find out where you can add the fluff, the pieces of you. But in the first 30 seconds to a minute, it's important to kind of get right to the point. And I didn't want to hear it, you know, in my first 180 something videos. I didn't want to hear it. I was just like, I created my channel because this is what I do. And I had to understand. I cut out the introduction to my channel. I used to have like a little sound clip or whatever that would come up and it would play music. And I worked very hard on it. I thought it was really good. But all of those videos have the lowest engagement because, one, I'm a small channel. So nobody wants to watch my 20-second to 30-second intro. They want to see what I'm talking about. I don't have much authority to capture attention yet. Like when you have a channel that's 150K views, or, you know, just way up there in the thousands, people will come and they will stay for that because they really are already invested in you. But if they're not, you haven't earned their continued support, and you haven't really given them a reason to always want to come back to your channel, you might want to just get straight to it. Like, stop beating around the bush with a long intro, the circling, and just get right into what they clicked on the video for. Again, for the end, if you notice in the end, sometimes I go down my rabbit holes and I incorporate some of my fluff because I can only be me. I don't want to make a rigid video where I show up to YouTube like, yes, sir, I want to have fun. But I have to remember people's time is essential. People that really, really like me will stay and watch it. They'll be like, oh, you were funny, you said XYZ. And there's other people that would click off and I would lose their attention, you know, due to something like that. So I have to keep both in mind, if that makes sense. Another thing is studying and learning your audience should be another goal of yours. If you want to build an audience, you have to understand your audience. I've said this in the previous video about being consistent. Posting consistently allowed me to understand the audience. I think that sometimes we post consistently and our thought process is, where's my views and where's my subscribers? And I really, really want people to rethink that. I really, really want you to post your videos and ask yourself instead, what did I learn about my audience? What did I learn about the people who watch? What part of the videos did they like? Where did they drop off at? And the feedback in the comments, the feedback area, I like to call it. What did they say was working? What did they say didn't work? Did you make those changes, or did you just heart the comment and keep it pushing? Because if somebody wrote to you and they were like, hey, I really liked when you did this part, maybe you should incorporate more of this part into the other videos. If somebody said, hey, I really didn't like this part, you have to take that into consideration, because there are trolls and negative people out there. But if they came to you with honest, sound advice and they did it tactfully and they just wanted to give you some feedback, take that feedback and incorporate it. So study and learn your audience. So now that I keep telling you guys to do the work, how do we actually do the work? So this part I'm going to call is do your research. Do your research. YouTube autocomplete. Type in the YouTube search bar to find kind of what people are thinking or what they're asking. I'm going to use natural hair as another example, because my hair and my scalp be dry. And I'm pretty sure it's because I'm using outdated products. Like, I'm using products where I just buy them because I'm familiar with them and they work better for my unnatural hair. So, rabbit hole real quick. But let's say, for example, I type in natural hair. If I'm a natural hair content creator, what keywords popped up in natural hair? So for example, let me look. So I'm going to YouTube on my search, and I will show you guys this later. Get out of here. So all sorts of stuff start popping up. So for example, I typed in natural hair. What other stuff pops up in the search? Okay, so we're not going to do that because autofocus want to play. But natural hair growth journey pops up. Natural hair twist, natural hair shampoo, natural hair growth. Look through these topics, these searches that came up, because this is stuff that people are looking for on YouTube, and figure out which one of these categories or topics you want to cover. It's just that simple to use the YouTube search. It is literally just that simple. Why do you want to use the YouTube search? You want to use the YouTube search because this is what people are searching on YouTube. You can't miss. For example, fitness. I see a lot of fitness channels, right? And I've been following you guys back, and I've observed great content, very motivational, really good message, good camera presence. There's nothing else that you guys could fix fundamentally about yourselves to perform better. But specify on your videos. Go to YouTube, search in the keywords, type in fitness, see if people are asking about arms, see if people are asking about legs, see if people are asking about diet and fitness. And then cater your titles, your keywords, and things as such, okay? Cater them accordingly, if that makes sense. It doesn't mean change your content. Don't change your content at all. And I hate when people do this, because people are like, well, maybe I'm making the wrong type of content. No, you're not making the wrong type of content. Even with the videos that weren't about YouTube, I was starting to get searched more. I was starting to show up more because I understood what people were looking for. So that's all. Just try to learn how to understand what people are looking for. And YouTube search is a great way to do that, because the search bar, it will usually generate other ideas. And this is what people are searching for. The YouTube analytics tab. The analytics tab is very important. I usually don't get all into all the numbers. I'm not a big data person. I love it. I love data because I'm a nerd. But I don't like it at the same time. I don't like too much data because data ruins my creativity. I like to have fun, and I like to enjoy the process of creating. So I don't like to data myself down to where I don't get anything done. But I do occasionally click through, maybe like twice a month or monthly, and try to look at ways to improve. It's not something I can do every day, because like I said, it will kill off my creativity. You don't want to listen to data too much, because it'll make you feel like you're not doing the right thing when you might very well be doing the right thing. This is just ways to help you improve. But go to the analytics tab and then go to, let me look. Okay, you're going to go to your analytics tab at the bottom, and then you're going to go to inspiration on the top left under where it says studio, if you're looking in YouTube Studio. And in there is a lot of information for you. You should see something pop up that says top searches, right? And in those top searches, you can scroll and you can look for recent videos that other people have watched on your channel, well, that follow you. And you can look for thumbnails and titles in those recent searches. And if you talk about anything that is familiar to that, now you can kind of tweak or alter your thumbnail and your titles accordingly. I hope it's making sense. When I typed in natural hair, I can see whether it has a high interest, a medium interest, or a low interest. And this is something that I go into as well in a small channel ebook that I have that is free. But in that small channel ebook, if you guys have it or you don't have it, if you scroll, there's a part where I show you actual screenshots of high, medium, low interest with your audience for certain topics. Now, what I do is if I really want to talk about a particular topic, I don't let that low interest crap discourage me, okay? Because Janae want to talk about what Janae want to talk about sometimes. But what I can do is I can tweak it. I can scroll through different topics. I can fully expand this whole search and see how to kind of alter the topic to make it fit. So for example, I go into this on the live stream. Work from home was low interest with my audience, but I've worked very hard to film those videos. So when I went to the analytics tab, the inspiration tab, and I searched and saw that work from home had very low engagement with my audience, I was like, I hope I didn't just waste my time. But a lot of people would have deleted or scrapped the videos, but I said, no. We ain't doing that. So what I did was I expanded my search and I noticed that day in the life had medium to high interest in my audience. So instead of titling it work from home and letting the video be a complete flop, I titled it day in the life / work from home. And then I incorporated things that matter to my audience. And my audience is interested in mindset, organization, decluttering, things of that nature. So I incorporated it into, please let that word slide, but I incorporated it into my vlogs because I know that's what mattered to them. So as I edited, I cut out the fluff, the things that I felt like wouldn't matter to my audience. Yes, I wanted to have fun. Yes, I wanted you guys to get a little idea of who I was, but I also wanted to make sure I answered the things that matter to my audience. Time management, productivity. These are all things that I know matters to my audience before my video went viral. That's why I kept making the videos in the first place. But I can't stop. Anybody remember that Will Smith song? Okay. So where was I? Okay. We were in the inspiration tab. Don't remember where I was at with that, but just know that I will provide some graphics for them. Shall I remember? But anyways, moving along to Google. Google owns YouTube. Google owns YouTube. I said this as well in my live stream. I was sitting down and I was writing blogs and it all clicked. The gears was turning one day. Before I pumped out all those videos that you saw in September, October, the gears clicked. If Google owns YouTube, how can I make my videos searchable? How can I get them to rank on Google and YouTube? Put in some time, put in some work, like really understanding that if I can get searched on Google, it's a chance that YouTube might find me. So for example, have you ever gone to Google and you search up how to remove a picture frame? I don't know. I'm thinking off the top of my head, how to remove a picture frame. And you go to how to remove a picture frame and guess what? They have an article and then they have a link. They have a YouTube video. Watch this video. This video might help you. And it'll be a video about how to remove a picture frame with screwdrivers. And that person showed up on your Google. So think about that. I know it sounds silly and you're probably like, well, my stuff ain't never going to end up on Google. But if Google owns YouTube and this is where they search on both, then put some time and effort into your titles. Stop going to sleep and thinking your channel or your video is going to blow up overnight because you said something dope. I've said some really good stuff, like some quotables in previous posts and videos, and nobody cared. Nobody watched them. They have 36 views to this day. It'll probably never get watched. I have to be realistic. And why is that? Because YouTube probably killed the video off. Like the first 2 or 3 days, YouTube probably didn't know what to do with some of those videos, and they were just free floating in the water. Okay, so I live in Georgia. Let's do this. Nice places to go in Georgia. Enter, and then I look at articles for different ideas. I scroll, I see 15 places. Those are ideas. Now, I want you guys to pay attention to a very, very, very important feature, right? Let's say that you wanted to make videos about nice places to go in Georgia. Nice places to go in Georgia is a very good title idea, right? But if you scroll down to people also search for, There is some real good hidden information and data in that section. People also search for top 10 places to visit in Georgia, unique places to visit in Georgia, places to visit in Georgia for couples, places to go in Georgia for the weekend. Do you understand what's happening here? That people also search for just gave you your bullet points. And the reason why is because you can make your video a one-stop shop. If people came to your videos, they'd be like, wow, they answer my questions without me even having to ask. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to come back to that person. That is very important. And that's what I said. And that's what I mean about doing the work, actually doing the work. It's a lot of work, but if you do it, it's worth it. Because if you really care about your audience and you really want them to watch your videos, why should they watch your video out of the hundreds and thousands of other people who are making videos about nice places to go in Georgia? Give them a reason to, or at least do your best. If you're going to go out bad, I want you to go out swinging. I want you to know that you tried and you actually put the effort in and you actually took time to learn your audience. If I was a person who made travel videos or made videos about my state, I would like to believe that if I genuinely cared about my audience's time, if I genuinely cared about providing value, that I would like to take a look and try to answer some of those questions. You don't have to put all of them in your video, but you can include some of them as bullet points. I hope that makes sense. Ask the Public, I'll cover briefly. And I don't know why I always keep it brief with Ask the Public, because Ask the Public is a very, very good gem. Because if you're struggling with everything that I just said, and you still can't come up with keywords or inspiration or ideas, I want you to get familiar with Ask the Public. Ask the Public is what people are looking for on Google. The reason why Ask the Public is really good too is because you can just do keywords. So I can go to Ask the Public and I can type in places in Georgia. The less that you put into Ask the Public, the better. So let's say I put places in Georgia, and Ask the Public will give you who, what, when, why, and even where questions, if I'm not mistaken. Why is this helpful? Because if you were not able to think of a title idea, you now have plenty. Ask the Public will tell me, if I type in places in Georgia, I will see what places should I go to in Georgia when it's cold? What places are good for Georgia, blah, blah, blah. And you get the gist. Look at the wheel and get into a good relationship with it when you type in look at the wheel and get into a good relationship with it when you type in those keywords and really, really delve into great title ideas. Some of these title ideas you can break up and use some of those keywords on your thumbnail. You can use some of those keywords to name your picture and so on and so forth, which I'm going to get into a little later. The keywords, use the keywords that you find as metadata. Tags, I found out, kind of throw your YouTube videos off, especially if you're the type of person that's putting 45,100 tags in your video. YouTube doesn't know where to put you. So for example, you'll post a video about natural hair, and then your tags is mindset, growth, journey, 2024, YouTube. Like YouTube is like, what the heck? Like, that's not what tags were created for. And I really wish I could find the YouTube creators video that talks about the importance of tags. And it actually tells you, and this is as of 2024, that the tags are not even that important. They're not really doing much for your video. Tags were actually created to fix spelling errors. And I did not know that. And when I knew that, I started to keep it very simple. I too was one of the people that I was tagged out in the tag area when I was uploading my videos because I was desperate. I was like, please find me. But I was throwing YouTube off because my tags was mindset, growth, mental health, journey. And that's cool because it did all pertain to my video, but YouTube was looking. Mental health, journey, YouTube journey, 2024. Like, what is this person doing? So limit your tags if you still want to use them. There's a lot of data and proof that says that tags do nothing for your video. So if you still want to use them, fine. I still use them because I'm still a small channel, so I can't take that chance to be out here willy-nilly on my own. And that's what I mean about the metadata. So using those keywords to name your picture. So if you design your thumbnails in Canva, instead of just downloading the Canva picture as new thumbnail for new video, put small channel thumbnail, or put I posted consistently, or put I posted consistently on YouTube, or put small channel, low views. Put certain keywords in it because YouTube does use that as data from your thumbnail. Like, it's not just your video, your title. It's looking for the actual data within it that's embedded in it. Is that the word? Ingrained in it? Okay. And when you export your videos too. So when I export my videos from Final Cut, I used to just put November video or December video or new vlog or something generic because I didn't really care until I found out that YouTube relies on what I named my video. And yeah, I took it very seriously after that. So I went back and I named it. I posted to my small channel, or I posted consistently. All of that is being used to find you. That section where they categorize your video, I've learned that that's not even relevant. So you can put yourself in people and blogs or entertainment or travel. And I found out that that section is irrelevant. It's kind of like an old YouTube feature that they were like playing around with that they never fixed. So your video is literally what you package it as. That is what's doing all the work for you. That category ain't about nothing. I tested it out and I put my videos in freaking movies and film. And I'm not a movie and film video. And my video still did very well in that category. So I feel like it's not really helping you much. So I feel like you need to name your thumbnails, you need to name your video, you need to name your pictures and everything accordingly. That is going to be your new tags. Now, keywords is not how people find you. So keywords is not how people find you. They find you by how searchable you are. But keywords tell YouTube more about you. Keywords tell YouTube, hey, this channel is about XYZ, to get it in front of the correct audience. You need to make your content searchable to people that are looking for the things that you speak about. When you're coming up with titles and ideas, another idea, and this is just a bonus tip, is to use trending topics, but please use them accordingly. Like, for example, when my video went viral, I could have started doing this. You know, like, it's just not conducive to who I am. So bring your unique personality and flair to those topics, to those videos. Be authentic. Please do not copy and paste. Because at one point, YouTube was heading in a direction that I was not very happy about. And a lot of people were just posting about the same things, but they were posting for views and they didn't really care about the topic. And that's okay if you want to use people as a stepping stone or a number, but it's going to fizzle out for you. You know, so I don't like to rely on that. I like to actually talk about a topic that means something to me, like the editing. That meant something to me because I edit. You know, a lot of people are like, how come you don't outsource your stuff and blah, blah, blah. I actually edit. I don't mind to edit. I didn't like having to do that much editing for my YouTube videos. I didn't feel like it mattered to what I was doing. Like, it came to a point where I was editing and I was like, what am I doing? Like, why am I sliding and multiplying on the screen? I like to just turn the camera on and talk to you guys. I didn't want to do all the gimmicks and stuff, not for my personal YouTube channel. Like, for the video production side of things, what I do in my business, I have to do that. I understand why I do that. I don't mind. It's called for in that field, but it's not called for in this type of videos. And I didn't want people to feel like we had to do that, like we had to be animated and put on to enjoy YouTube, because that's not how YouTube was designed. Another important thing is about your videos is actually answer the questions. Like, I went down the list and I answered the things that stood out to me the most from the polls that I asked, from the emails that I got, from my research on Ask the Public, from different things that I saw people were looking for. And I tried to do my best to make sure I answered every single question that I feel like might pertain to people in regards to titles and thumbnails. It's okay if you want to create enticing titles, enticing thumbnails that will get people to come. Like, look how much I made. That's fine. That's not clickbait, as long as you actually answer how much you made when they come to the video. So we're coming to the end, and I want to tell you guys about some other free resources. If you're still not sure about thumbnails, what's a good thumbnail, what's a bad thumbnail, trial and error is always going to be your friend. Asking other people is always going to be your friend. But you also have the option of going to YouTube University. Okay, YouTube is free. There's also free or low cost courses that usually will teach you about making thumbnails or graphic design and different things like that. And it's very important. Try different stuff. Like, we get so analytical on YouTube, like, oh, if I do XYZ, because this person told me this is going to blow up. It might not. For the type of content that you make, what works for somebody else might not work for you. So, for example, if you do fitness, having a big bleep picture of yourself is not going to work. They might need pictures of results before and after, stuff in the gym. Maybe the one that's split into 4 quadrants where you show your fitness, your eating, a picture of you talking, so on and so forth. Everything works different for everybody. Please do not listen to people that tell you that there's a magic recipe or a formula to anything you do besides trial and error and teaching yourself and learning and improving. That's the only thing that's going to work. Take advantage of YouTube University. I've watched some real great videos about how to make thumbnails that I've incorporated, and I do feel like I've seen change. I do feel like I've recently got the most comments ever about people saying why they clicked on my video. And that matters to me because I'm still a small channel and I need to be seen to grow. Have fun. We stopped having fun because everybody, like, you know, as I'm talking to people, they're like, my goal is to get monetized. My goal is to get monetized. And I get it. I get it 1,000%. But if you stop having fun when you're making your videos, I feel like it translates over. Like when I came downstairs, I was dreading this because I came down here with 3 shirts, 2 bags, plugs, charger, tripod, cup of water, my phone, a notebook, lip gloss. And I was just like, I don't like this part, but I know when I get downstairs, I'm going to get to yapping and I'm actually not going to want to shut up. And that's exactly what happened. Like I got down here and I started having so much fun. And I was so proud of myself going through the pages and just looking how far I came with preparing this to completion. Now I'm almost done. So I'm always excited to turn the camera on and see what kind of visuals I could come up with, see how far I come, and, you know, just continue to improve. So I have fun when I create. And if I didn't have fun, this would turn into a full-time second job or a part-time job or whatever the case is. And you don't want that. Like there's a lot of videos about YouTube becoming a new 9 to 5. And I think it's because sometimes people get into it for the wrong reason. But I really love creating. I love creating the products that I created to help you all, like the time management blog, the newsletter, the ebooks. Like they were a hassle at the time during the weekends that I sacrificed to make them. But when I finished, like I was like, yo, I did that. There's nothing wrong with having an end goal because you came here to accomplish something. And I understand that. But don't forget the part where you have fun. Don't forget why you started the channel. Your current audience is everything. As I said, to say this all, to sum it all up, your current audience is what's pushing you to continue growing. Your current audience is the reason why YouTube is showing your video. If you don't value your audience and they stop showing up and you got no views, your channel, your video will be dead in a few days. And I told you what happens when the video dies. YouTube stops driving traffic to it. Please don't treat your audience as just a number. I get it. I stress very heavily to you. I understand wanting to get monetized and having AdSense and all that stuff, that the wonderful benefits that come with it. But please appreciate your current audience. I prayed for community. I begged for it. I was looking. I was willing to post as much videos as I posted to find them. And I cannot believe to this day the amount of support that I wake up to. Just a few people that do answer on the polls, it helps me to keep creating videos. I don't need 400,000 people or 500 people liking stuff. I'm not a clout or attention seeking person. So the few people that do show up, I do appreciate it. I love talking to them. I love watching their videos. I spent my Thanksgiving cooking and watching videos, vlog after vlog, catching up with you all and meeting you guys and learning more about you and why you started your channels. And it's been fun. It's been rewarding. Please appreciate your current audience, because if you don't understand your current audience, you're not, to me personally, going to be able to understand a bigger audience. You're going to become tone deaf to them because now you're just posting to get the numbers and you're not listening to their feedback. You're not engaging with them. You're not understanding them. And so that's very important, is just to remember that your current audience is everything. And I wish you guys the best on your journey. 2 batteries that died. SD card full, camera shut off on me, all of that. Still here. So I see you guys. I'm out.